What time is it? It's turbo time. What is up, guys, and welcome back to another day here with the AutoWorks. Today we're starting right where we left off with the last episode with the shop truck build. We tore everything down and now it's time to get to sanding. Game plan for today is it's a little on the cool side, so I'm going to have to wait until it warms up before I can start doing a little bit of filler work. But I'm going to go panel by panel with 180 grit, see if we can't sand down some of the surface rust and paint chips and everything else, just to kind of assess the overall condition of this truck. And then we'll start doing some body work, and eventually we'll get to that patch panel. But right now, let's just knock out what we can get to without welding. So, all right, I'm going to set you guys up and let's get into it. Alright guys, so fast forward a little bit. You saw I've been sanding on it. As expected, all this rust that I found on it was all just superficial surface rust, with the exception over there. You guys saw that. So there's really two ways you can kind of tackle this, guys. You can sand it all back down to metal like you saw on the red truck and prime the whole thing over again. Either way, you're probably going to have to prime the whole thing. But what I'm going to do is take some 180, 240 grit and try to feather edge all these areas, because as I'm sanding on it, what it's doing is the paint's chipping away. So what I'm going to have to do is sand everything by hand so that it's not chipping anymore, and so that the transitions are good before primer. And that's the way I'm going to go about it with this one, just because I do not want to have to strip this whole thing down to metal. If I have to, I'll do it, but this is kind of the first step, and we'll try it this way, and then, yeah. So more sanding and then priming, so let's get into it. Alright guys, so fast forward an hour or two, I've gotten all the residue off of this side, and I started to kind of feather edging some certain areas, trying to see what I got, kind of looking at down the side of the panel and finding my dents and dings and stuff I want to fix. I've been hammering a few areas back out so I can get it ready for a little bit of filler work like that right there, and getting it down to metal. And yeah, it's a very long, tedious process with body work, guys. Get it to where it ain't flaking. You want to get it to where it's not shiny. Obviously, you want to fix any dings and dents you got. And yeah, we got a major one right here we got to fix. I'm going to show you that in just a minute. And yeah, you just have to keep working at it, guys. It's a long, tedious process, but well worth it. 90% of your paint job is in your prep. So, all right, let's keep going. Alright guys, so you got a pesky dent like this dent on the hood right here. You got no way to access it from the back to pop it back out, and you want to fix it. But you don't want to use one of the traditional slide hammer tools, because you have to drill a hole in it, and it takes a screw that screws into it, and then you slide hammer it back out. Well, you can go to Harbor Freight and get you one of these. This is a stud welder. It comes with these little studs that you can actually weld onto it, and it's actually really simple to use. And you can slide hammer it out. It comes with its own slide hammer after that, and then twist these things off back and forth, and then they'll come right off, and then you don't leave holes in the panel, and then you can just fill it like you need to, instead of just globbing a whole bunch of filler there and calling it a day. So I'm going to show you how it works real quick. Take one of these little studs, and you slide it into the little hammer, the little hole in the front of it, and what happens is you push on the panel, and it makes connection, and you hold it down for about 3 seconds. And there you go. Now you got a stud on it, and you can use the slide hammer to pull it. So I'm going to do another one up close so you can see how it really works, and then we'll grab that little stud hammer. So like I said, you take the little stud and you slide it in the end of the tool, and what this does is it pushes in, and when it pushes in, it makes ground contact with the area you're trying to pull out. And then you got a little trigger on the back, you squeeze it, and then you release, and then you got a stud on there. Like I said, it takes a few times to practice it and get it right, but and it's been a while since I've used it, but it works really good. And now we can hammer out those dents. Alright guys, so this is the little slide hammer tool. You put it on there and then you just slam it back and it pulls the dent out. And it's got this little wheel right here that when you put the actual stud into the hole, you attach the little wheel to it so it holds it in place. And then you can slide back out. And a lot of times it'll pop off like that. And then you can either twist these to break them off when you're done with it, or you can just grind them off with a grinder. So that's a really cool tool you can pick up from Harbor Freight, guys, if you want to pull out some dents and you're not good with a welder, or you're just kind of intimidated by that whole process, or you just don't have access to get behind the dent to pull it out. That way you're not just globbing on a bunch of filler that's going to crack later and look nasty and everything else, and you can actually get the repair done decently. So check it out at Harbor Freight if you're interested, and let's keep on doing some body work. Alright, so starters, body work is coming along on the hood. Got that dent fixed pretty well. There was a little booger right there. I got that one. Still got to sand pretty much all the truck. Coming back here, I have fiberglass, those holes. You probably saw that little valence piece that was screwed in. We'll put one on there, but it's going to be a smaller double-sided one. I've been working on this. That was where somebody backed the trailer into the truck, and that somebody was me. And that was a long time ago. And we got the spot right here. That one's looking pretty good. There was a dent right here. A couple places on each side where the bed rails mounted to it. It was bulging out right there, so I skim coated it. I'm gonna fix it. And yeah, guys, it's a lot of repetitiveness. Woo. Well, this just came in the mail today, guys, so you know what time it is. Time to have some fun welding on a panel. Alright guys, so here's the patch panel. It ain't pretty, but it'll get the job done. Time I body work it and seal everything up, we'll be good to go. What do you think?
Oh yeah, we're gonna make it happen.
Alright guys, let's get to welding. Alright guys, so we got it all welded up and I put the first layer of fiberglass on it. We actually ran out of gas, so yeah, we had to just send it, and we got it done, but it wasn't pretty. Either way, we got the first layer of fiberglass, then we're going to sand that down, then it's Bondo, then it's dolphin glaze, and you know, just get it right. So, alright, moving along. Alright guys, the roll pan's on. That was actually a pretty quick and easy install. It just had 4 bolts you saw up there, and you just kind of line it up, and then on each side behind here I actually put a screw going that way. So it's on there good. It's nice and flush on both sides, as you can tell. You know, not bad for an old truck that's been hit a couple times. It's still a 400,000 mile truck, so pretty cool, and not bad for the 60 some odd dollars I paid for it. Alright, let's keep going. So jumping around a bit, it's a few bit later. I've got the whole truck sanded down now, guys. I know you remember how you saw those screws and the holes for the old rails. I decided to shave that, and it doesn't have to be perfect because what I plan on doing is bed lining it. So, you know, as long as I got it 95%, we should be good on that. Coming back here, you just saw I got the roll pan on. Basically, I just pushed it up there, got it like I liked it, and then put screws in it and screws in each side. So that was a real easy install. And I'm also fixing some areas right here. Like I said, all this is going to get sprayed RUST-OLEUM bed liner, and I got some other cool projects as part of this truck that I'm going to be showing you guys in a few. If not, it'll be on the next episode. But yeah, so we're moving right along. I've got to block this area right here. I've kind of done it by hand, guys. You can see right there. It looks pretty smooth, and I've kind of just leveled it by hand to kind of get a good idea of you know, the consistency and just the transition or whatever. But the next step will be spray a little bit of guide coat on it, block it out just to make sure it's right before we put some filler primer on probably most of the truck. Honestly, like I said, I got some bad paint areas and stuff like that. I feathered it out to the best of my ability, and you know, this truck is still, it's a 400,000 plus mile truck, guys. So it's not going to be Haggerty perfect. It's not going to the auction block anytime soon, that's for sure. And yeah, so we can get this thing in primer, and then we'll be ready to block it and paint it and everything else. So we're still moving right along. It's just a long, tedious process, and rather than just put you on time lapse, I wanted to just kind of give you guys clip by clip updates and just kind of walk through and explain it. So anyways, let's get back into it, and I'll catch up with you in a few. Also, some of you guys might be wondering about these bed rail areas. What I did is I skimmed it with fiberglass first, and I just filled all the inconsistencies because there's a lot of little screw holes and stuff like that. And then I'm going back and glazing it with body filler. And then, like I said, normally after that I would do dolphin glaze, get it 100% perfect. But since I'm going to be doing sprayable bed liner, and it's going to be kind of that flattish textured color, it's not really going to matter. So I just wanted to kind of explain that for anybody that thought I was just throwing Bondo over this right here. I'm not just throwing Bondo. I fiberglassed everything first because that's going to hold up way better. If you just do Bondo, it's going to crack. So if nothing else, fiberglass it, then Bondo it, and it'll hold up way better for a lot longer. Alright, so I told you guys that I don't really care much for chrome. And here's the chrome bumper right here. You might have seen it in the past video. I pulled it off. It comes in 3 pieces. Here's the other 2 pieces right here. This is the top cap, and then there's a lower valance where the fog light goes. Yeah, like I said, I don't like chrome, so we're going to be sanding this down, and let me show you what we're going to be using to paint it. Oh baby, yeah guys, that's right. Truck bed pro grade turbo can RUST-OLEUM. Only the best for this bumper. Let's get it prepped and ready, and let's get to spraying. So I'm sure you guys are wondering why the heck I'm doing this. One, I'm probably going to end up getting a new bumper eventually, but for now, this one's got a bunch of scuffs and scratches and dings, and I kind of tried to hammer them back out the best I could, but we're going to scuff the crap out of this with 80 grit and hit it with a turbo can. I thought it'd be something fun to do, and it'll make this bumper look a lot better for the meantime until I decide to get a new one. So let's get into it. Alright guys, compressor's running, so you might hear that in the background. Now normally if you were going to do this and actually paint it, you would want to hit it with 180 grit, hit it with some epoxy primer, sand that down. You could do body work over it if you need to, filler primer if you do any body work, and then sand that down and you're ready to paint. So, but let me show you how scratched up this thing is. And like I said, I don't really care about this bumper, and with those 80 grit scratches on it, this bed liner material is going to hold just fine. So let me show you what it looks like. Like I said, it's got bumps and bruises. It ain't perfect, and we have scuffed the absolute crap out of it. So now it's time for some turbo can fun. Let's get into it. So I moved it out here in the yard a little bit so I don't paint the sidewalk. Yes, we have a backhoe, so you know, if I need to pick a car up and smash it, maybe I'll do that on the episode and show you guys. That'd be fun. But anyways, this is the RUST-OLEUM truck bed turbo can. Much like the other one, but this is textured. I'm gonna shake it up real good, and let's go to town and have some fun on this bumper. Alright guys, so this is after one pass with the turbo can. Now it covers quick, just like with the gloss black. You do have to keep it shaken up, and one thing I noticed about this turbo can is you cannot sit there and hold it vertical, because if you do, it will lock up and not let you paint. So anyways, let's keep going. Alright guys, I'm taking you with me for this coat. I mean, look at that. Look how far I'm holding to the can back. The stuff covers quickly though. Now see, something like this I don't mind as much as when you're doing like regular gloss, because this stuff splatters, so it almost makes sense. Alrighty, you get in there real good. Ain't shy with the turbo can, that's for sure. Alright, not too bad. Alright guys, this is after almost 3 coats with the turbo can, and I actually ended up running out of the turbo can. So I got a backup of just a regular truck bed and just kind of did some touch up, make sure I got good coverage. But all in all, I will say it works good. It does not last though as long as some of the others, and you would think it would, but I guess it's just the way the product's made. But all in all, I like the look of it. Obviously it's got that Raptor liner look, but anyways, yeah, it turned out pretty good. Now I gotta sit and let it settle. But that's it for the turbo can. Alright guys, so this is where I'm going to stop the video at for today. We're about ready to get this thing in some primer, do some block sanding, and then finally get the paint, and that'll be in the next episode. As far as this RUST-OLEUM turbo can with the bed liner in it, I like it. It's pretty good. Now something like this would be much cooler and much more useful than just the regular old turbo cans trying to paint your car with. However, it does get used pretty quick. I used it all on that bumper and still had to go back with a little can of RUST-OLEUM bed liner like you saw. So just kind of be aware that you're going to need a lot of cans of this if you're going to do like a whole bed or something like that, or let alone a whole truck. I was just teasing y'all a little bit on that. We are not doing this in bed liner. We're going to do something really, really cool, and I'm excited to show you guys. I know I said about going part-time versus full-time in the last video. I am doing that, guys, but that will be November 19th that week. That's the week that's transfer over, so episodes are still, you know, what they are right now, but we're going to keep going on, and everything will start picking up after that. So anyways, guys, if you made it this far in the video, you like what we're doing with the truck build. I've done a ton of work to it so far and much more to come, and a very cool and elaborate paint job. I'm sure some of you guys might hear it in my voice. I'm getting a little bit of a sinus infection. I seem to get one every time of this, like the year around November, and Dad's got it too, so it ain't just me, and it ain't just, I'm wearing my mask, painting, and everything else, so don't worry about that, guys. Anyways, that's it for the turbo can. That's it for the episode today. If you made it this far in the video, you like what we're doing, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Got about 77% unsubscribe rate, so guys, please smash that subscribe button, you know, so we can continue to do cool videos like this. But anyways, guys, that's enough for me yapping today. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you on the next one. God bless, have a good one, and I'm out.